Good morning, students. Welcome in new next lecture of Math F211 Mathematics 3. Audio video is okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So last time we have learned method of variation of parameter where we have solved the second order differential equation. We can solve even higher order differential equation also, but in your course we have only the second order differential equation. So where Px, Qx and Rx are general function of x. So in continuation of that, we have next problem. Find the sixth B. Find the general solution of x square plus x y double dash plus 2 minus x square y dash minus 2 plus x y is equal to x into x plus 1 whole square. So if you write in the standard form means coefficient of y double dash must be 1. So y double dash plus 2 minus x square upon x square plus x y dash minus 2 plus x upon x square plus x y is equal to x into x plus 1 whole square divided by x square plus x. So as you compare with the standard form, we have the px is equal to 2 minus x square upon x square plus x, qx is equal to minus of 2 plus x upon x square plus x, and rx is equal to x into x plus 1 whole square upon x square plus x. So from the complete equation, if you put rx is equal to 0, we have the reduced equation y double dash plus 2 minus x square upon x square plus x y dash minus 2 plus x upon x square plus x y is equal to 0. So from here, by inspection, we observe that p plus q plus 1 is equal to 0. So this implies that one solution will be the y is equal to e to power x. So if by chance you are not able to determine the second linearly independent solution by inspection, then you can go through the article 16, y2 is equal to v into y1, where v is equal to integral 1 upon y1 square e to power minus p dx into dx. But in this question, we can see we have 2 minus px plus qx square is also 0. So this will implies that x to power minus 1 or y is equal to 1 upon x is another solution. General formula we know. What is the general formula? M into m minus 1 plus p into m into x plus qx square. If it is equal to 0, then we say x to power m is the solution. So here, if you take m is equal to minus 1, so here you will get the 2 minus px plus qx square is equal to 0. So that will implies that y is equal to this. So whenever whenever you compute the solution by inspection, y1 is equal to e to power x and y2 is equal to 1 upon x. So whenever you compute the solution by inspection, always you have to check whether they are Li or not. Whether they are Li or not. So for that purpose, we compute the Wronskian. So here y1 is equal to e to power x, y2 is equal to 1 over x. So y1 dash e to power x, y2 dash will be the minus 1 upon x square. So Wronskian of the y1 y2 will be the y1 y2 y1 dash y2 dash. So here we have the e to power x 1 upon x e to power x minus 1 upon x square. So here the Wronskian will come e to power x upon x square minus e to power x upon x square minus e to power x e to power x upon x. So you can say it is not equal to 0. It is not equal to 0. So they are the Li. Now we compute the particular solution by method of variation of parameter. In that we assume yp as v1 y1 plus v2 y2. So where v1 is minus integral y2 into rx upon Wronskian with respect to x. So y2 is what? 1 upon x. y2 is 1 upon x. y2 is 1 upon x. Rx is given to you as a x plus 1 into x square, and Wronskian you have computed as minus e to power x 1 plus x upon x square. So here you put all the value. So 1 upon x is cancel out. So here we have the integral, right? So here we have the, and this x and x cancel out. So here we have integral e to power minus x into x dx, and its integration will be the minus x e to power minus x minus e to power minus x. So that is your v1. Similarly, if you compute the v2 is integral y1 into rx upon w into dx. So y1 is what? E to power x. Rx is what? X plus 1 into x square upon w. W is what? E to power x into x plus 1 uh, x plus 1 upon x square with negative sign. So here we have 1 upon x, 1 upon x, 1 plus x, 1 plus x cancel out, e to power x cancel out. So here we have the minus of x square dx, and its integral is the minus 1 by 3 x to power 3. So yp will come v1 y1. Yp is what? It is the v1 y1 plus v2 y2. So you have already computed the value of the v1 and v2. So v1 is minus e to power minus x into x plus 1, that is the v1, into y1 plus v2 into y2. So here we have the yp, and general solution for complete equation is the yg plus yp. So yg is c1 y1x plus c2 y2x plus yp. So that is the complete solution for the second order differential equation by method of variation of the parameter. So any doubt in this part? So that is the chapter 2, right? Section 19. Now chapter 3, right? That is the chapter 3, section 19. Now we will move to chapter 4. Chapter 4 is qualitative properties for the solution. In this, two important theorem we will study: Sturm separation theorem and Sturm comparison theorem. Now, actually, whatever you have studied in chapter 3, there what we have the differential equation. And through different methodology, under the different conditions, through different methodology, we have determined the solution. But can you solve all kind of the differential equation?
Sir, we have
All kind of the differential equation is solvable. Yes.
Sir, we have done 3 chapters.
Chapter 1 is introductory, so that we have left. So we have started from the chapter 2.
Okay, sir. 2 and 3 we have done.
Chapter 2 and chapter 3 is over. Now we up to section 19 we have covered 7 to 19. Right. In that section 12 and 13 are not in the course. So 7 to 11 we have done, then 14 to 19 we have done. Now we have the section number 24 and 25. Chapter 4. So what I was telling you, that till now, through various methods, we have solved so many differential equations. But now question arises, can we solve all the equations? There are so many equations depending over the different physical process. We can have the infinitely many equations. So can all the equation will be solvable by the elementary function? There are so many equations which we cannot solve. So if we cannot solve, right, if we cannot determine the solution, so can we judge something about the solution? Can we judge about the nature of the solution? Yes, we can have, right? We can do. That is the qualitative properties of the solution. Means just by the differential equation, yet we do not know what would be the solution, but we know that we can determine the nature of the solution, how the solution will behave. That we can determine up to some extent. So that thing we will study in the qualitative properties. So here we have the second order differential equation, y double dash plus px y dash plus qx y is equal to 0. You have computed the yx is the solution of the first in chapter 3, right? In chapter 3 you have determined the solution of this non-homogeneous or homogeneous differential equation c1 y1 plus c2 y2, and y1 y2 you have computed. Now the question arises, if solution is not determinable, if solution cannot be determined, needs to understand the nature and properties of the solution from the equation itself directly. So it's okay, we agree that we cannot determine the solution. Can we judge about the nature of solution, about the properties of the solution from the differential equation itself? So to understand this, we are taking the simplest equation y double dash plus y is equal to 0. So this is the second order differential equation, and we know that y1 is equal to sin x, y2 is equal to cos x are the solution of this. If I am saying that y1 is equal to sin x, then y1 dash is equal to cos x, and y1 double dash is equal to minus sin x. So these will give you y1 double dash plus y1 is equal to 0. Similarly, if y2 is equal to cos x, y2 dash is equal to minus sin x, and y2 double dash is equal to the minus cos x. So that also will give you y2 double dash plus y2 is equal to 0. It means sin x and cos x are solution. Now if you compute the Wronskian, of y1 y2, so we have the sin x cos x, then cos x minus sin x, so it will give you minus 1, not equal to 0. This implies that y1 and y2 are Li solution. Then we can write c1 y1 plus c2 y2 is the general solution of the given differential equation y double dash plus y is equal to 0. Right? Now here we have the y1 is equal to sin x, y2 is equal to cos x. About the sin x, we know y1 at 0 is equal to 0 and y1 dash at 0 is equal to 1. y1 dash at 0 is equal to 1 and y2 0 is equal to 1 and y2 dash 0 is equal to 0. And the general equation is this. Now, this is the known thing. Now, I am saying that I have the equation y double dash plus y is equal to 0. Let Sx and Cx are solution. Let we are not saying that sin x and cos x are solution. Just I am saying that arbitrarily, right? We do not know what is the sx, we do not know what is the cx. So for the given equation y double dash plus y is equal to 0, let sx and cx are the solution. So let the solution are sx and cx. Assume that let y1 is equal to one solution is sx, another solution is the cx, and initial conditions are given to you. Initial conditions are given to you. Y1 is equal to 0, y1 dash 0 is equal to 1, y2 0 is equal to 1, y2 dash 0 is equal to 0. It means what is given to you? You have s0 is equal to 0, s dash 0 is equal to 1, c0 is equal to 1, and c dash 0 is equal to 0. This is given to you. Clear? I am saying that we do not know what is the cx, what is the sx. Just we are assuming that the solution. Now, from without knowing, without involving the cosec and sin x, without knowing the properties, nature of cosec and sin x, can we reveal the same properties? Can we reveal the same properties for sx and cx? Can we know the same properties, same nature for sx and cx from the given differential equation, from the initial conditions? Let us see one by one. So here, what is the given equation? We have y double dash plus y is equal to 0, y1 is equal to 0, y1 dash is equal to 1. So from the theorem 14a, if initial conditions are given for the solution and their derivative, then we have the unique solution. So we say that y is equal to sx is the unique solution under this initial condition. Similarly, if initial condition is given to you, y dash is y is equal to y at 0 is equal to 0 1, and y dash at 0 is equal to 0. At that time, y is equal to cx is the another solution. Both are the unique solution under their given conditions.
Sir, can you repeat this part again?
I'm saying that we have the differential equation. We have the differential equation. Both the differential equation are same. Initial conditions are given to you. y0 is equal to 0, y dash at 0 is equal to 1. For that, we have the solution. Let's assume we have the unique solution, because theorem 14a state that if initial condition is given to you, then always we have the unique solution. Right? In the theorem 14, in section 14, we have stated the theorem A. So we have the unique solution. Now, similarly, if y double dash plus y is equal to 0 and given conditions are y is equal to 1 at 0, y dash is equal to 0 at 0, then we have the unique solution y is equal to cx. Now, this implies, now we are talking for the first solution, y is equal to sx. We have the s at 0 is equal to 0. We have s dash 0 is equal to 1. What is the meaning of s at 0? I am saying that this is the sx. On the y-axis, we have the sx. On the x-axis, we have the x. It means at x is equal to 0, what is the value of the s? That is the 0. Means your graph will start from here. Right? Let x increase from the 0. Let x increase from the 0 in this side. S0 is equal to 0. So start at origin. Your graph start at origin. Now, S dash 0 is equal to 1. S dash 0 is equal to 1 means S dash represent S dash represent S dash means slope. S dash means slope. Slope at x is equal to 0. Slope at x is equal to 0 is 1. If it is the 1 means positive, it means it increase. It increase. It rises. It rises on the positive side. It rises. Let it rise with the slope beginning at 1. Beginning at 1. Now it is your graph start from origin and it rises on the positive side of the S due to S dash is equal to 1, a positive value. Now, what the S double dash will represent? What the S double dash will represent? It is the rate of change of slope. It is the rate of change of the slope because why it is so? Because it is the S dash dash. S double dash is what? S dash dash. So rate of change of the slope dy dx of the S dash x. But it is equal to minus of Sx. Why? Because this can be written as y double dash is equal to minus of y. Means S double dash is equal to minus of S. So S double dash is equal to the minus of S. Now I am saying that here what I have said, S is on the positive side. S is on the positive side. It means S is the positive. So S is positive means minus S is the negative. Minus S is negative. It means S double dash is the negative. S double dash is negative means rate of change of the slope, right? So here I am saying that curve is above the x-axis, so Sx is the positive. So if Sx is positive, then minus of the positive is the negative, so that is the negative here. That increases in the magnitude because the value of the S is increasing. The value of S is increasing as the curve rise. The slope decrease at an increased rate, right? Slope decrease because what is the S double dash? S double dash is the rate of change of the slope. So slope decrease. Since Sx is increasing, it means in magnitude Sx is increasing. It means the slope is decreasing with the increased rate. Slope is decreasing with increased rate. So from the 1 we have started. Initially the slope is 1. It is decreasing with increased rate. So with increased rate means at some point it will become the 0, right? At this place the slope is 1. At this place the slope is 0. At some point it becomes the 0. But right, but x continue to increase. So as x continue to increase, this curve, because now the slope is 0, so this curve start to decrease, right? This curve start to decrease. So here the slope decrease at the increased rate as the curve lift and become equal to 0, and at the x is equal to m. Let's say it becomes 0 at x is equal to m. Here we have the x is equal to 0. Now x continue to increase. So this curve, as x continue to increase, this curve fall toward the x-axis, and S dash decrease with the decreased rate. Now Sx will since what we have, S double dash is equal to minus of S. Now S is decreasing. As the S is decreasing, S double dash in magnitude is also decreasing. right? As the S is decreasing, S double dash in magnitude is also decreasing. So here, and due to the minus, so it decreases with the decrease rate. So S dash decreases with the decrease rate, and it crosses the x-axis at the pi. It crosses the x-axis when we say if it is the decreasing, it crosses the x-axis at x is equal to pi. And now, as here we have the s dash is equal to 0, it is decreasing, so it reached the s dash is equal to -1. Now, due to the +1, we have the positive side curve. So due to the -1, with the same principle, we have the negative side curve, right? Due to the -1, we have negative side curve. So here, crosses the x-axis at x is equal to pi by 2. S double dash x depends only on the sx, right? The curve is between 0 to pi is symmetric about the x is equal to m, or m will be the pi by 2, and s pi is equal to -1. S pi is equal to -1. Similarly, s dash pi is equal to -1 shows the next portion of the curve in an inverted replica of the first arc, and so on indefinitely. And so on indefinitely means, so what will happen? Again, here we have the s dash is equal to 1. So we have this type of the curve continuously. We have the curve. So here I have not used any property of the sin x, right? Just by saying that Sx is the solution from the given differential equation, we have just the oscillatory nature of Sx. Oscillatory nature of Sx. Let us see for the Cx. For the Cx, you can see we have y2 0 is equal to 1, y2 dash 0 is equal to 1. This implies that C0 is equal to 1 and C dash 0 is equal to 0. It means initial at x is equal to 0, C value is 1. C value is 1. Since C dash is equal to 0, slope is 0. Slope is 0. It means it is the maximum value. It is the maximum value, right? We have the constant value. Slope is 0. Then as the x increase, Cx will the positive. Cx will positive. C from here what we have, C double dash plus C is equal to 0, or C double dash minus C is equal to minus C. Since C is positive, C is equal to 1. C is equal to 1. So since C is positive, C double dash is the negative. So C double dash is negative, and C double dash is what? Rate of change of the slope of the Cx. Rate of change of the slope, right? So it means the graph will decrease. The graph will decrease. So when it decrease, so here we have the C dash is equal to, C dash is equal to 0. So at this place will become the C dash is equal to -1. C dash is equal to -1. Due to the -1, it behave invertly, right? It behave invertly. So we have curve like this and then this. So whatever the curve of the cos x, the same behavior you can observe for the Cx. So y is equal to Cx, C0 is equal to 1, C dash is equal to 0. Start from x is equal to 0, y is equal to 1, moves right with slope beginning at 0, right? The same thing they are saying, that start from 1 on the right hand side, initial slope is 0. So first it decrease because C double dash is equal to minus C. Then due to the -1, it will go down. Then here we have the this type of the curve. So curve bends down and crosses the x-axis. It now. So when we have this, and
Sir,
yes,
sir, cannot the slope go more than, cannot it be -2, -3?
no.
Sir, why? We don't have a constraint on that.
Actually, condition we have the condition now. This
Yes, sir, but that's just the initial condition. I'm saying after the C dash becomes -1, it can, why cannot it go more negative?
see, actually here we have none. Here we have the c dash is equal to 0. Here we are saying that c dash is equal to -1. Then because the c is what at this place, c is what negative, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
C is negative, minus c is
That is
positive,
positive.
c double dash is positive.
Positive. Yes, sir.
Positive means rate of change is positive, increasing. So from the -1 it start to increase. At it become the 0, it will change the direction.
Yes, sir. So
-1
got
to
it.
0, it
I got it.
-1 to, right, right. So it
Yes.
changed the direction, because at that point it attained the either the maxima or minima, or stationary point means. Any other doubt? So just here I want to convey, without knowing the solution from the differential equation, you can infer about the nature and properties of the solution from the differential equation itself. That we will study in this qualitative properties. Now, here you have seen the graph is similar to the cos x and sin x. The graph of cx and sin sx are similar to the cos x and sin x. So can whatever the property we know about the cos x and sin x, all we can derive even for the cx and sx without applying the properties of the trigonometry, just from the differential equation, just by knowing the nature and properties of the cx and sx, can we derive all the properties whatever we know about the cos x and sin x. Let us see one by one. So start from, so it now means it is the natural to conjecture that the height of the first arc of Sx is 1. That is the first zero of the Cx at the pi by 2. Now, from here, from the graph, what you can judge? Graph for the Sx is this one. Graph of the Cx is this one. This is your Cx graph. This is your Sx graph. Sx graph. So, whatever the height, at the right height at x is equal to pi by 2, height at x is equal to pi by 2 for the sx is what? It is the 1. It is 1. And at the pi by 2, what we have? At the pi by 2, what we have? C is equal to 0. Means at the pi by 2, we have zeros of the C. Zeros of the C. So first conclusion we have, sine pi by 2 is equal to 1. S pi by 2 is equal to 1. Sine cos pi by 2 is equal to 0. C pi by 2 is equal to 0. So from the graph, first conclusion we can have this. Now second conclusion is what? In the trigonometry we have sine dash sx is equal to cos x. In the on the same fashion, we have the s dash x is equal to cx, and cos dash x is equal to minus of sin x. Minus of sin x, the second property we are writing here. So for the first one, we have the given differential equation. I am not using any property of the trigonometry. Just I am using the differential equation. So what the differential equation? Y double dash plus y is equal to 0. If you take take the derivative with respect to x, then it will become the y triple dash plus y dash is equal to 0. So in the section 17, you have seen that in the section 17 we have determined the solution. In the section 17 you have studied the y double dash plus p y dash plus q y is equal to 0. Here if I am saying that y is equal to e to power mx is solution of, let's say, solution of the first. In section 17 we have the second order differential equation with constant coefficient. So y dash is equal to what? M e to power mx is mx. Y dash is equal to e to power m into e to power mx. Can the y dash m into e to power mx is the solution? Is solution of first? Is solution of first? Yes. Constant multiple of solution is also the solution. Constant multiple of solution is also the solution. It means you can say that y dash is also solution of y double dash plus p y dash plus q y is equal to 0. Right? Using the same principle. It is the question number 17.4. Section 17, question number 4. This is only that. So here we have this can be written as y triple dash can be written as y dash power double dash plus y dash is equal to 0. So y dash is also solution. The problem number 17.4. So it means we are saying that for the given equation, earlier we have seen that sx and cx are the solution. Now we are saying that derivative of the solution is also the solution. So we claim that s dash and c are solution of y double dash plus y is equal to 0. Both are solution of. Now we just equate them. First we have seen there are the two solutions, cx and s dash. They are the two solutions. So what are the given condition? By the theorem 14, when they are equal, what we want? We want to equate these two solutions. These two solutions means what we want to say? We want to say they are the unique solution. Then only they are the equal. S dash is equal to cx. Then only they have the equality. When both are the same thing, then only they have the equality. And when we can have the equality, when we have the unique solution, by the theorem 14, if there is the same initial condition, then only we have the unique solution. Theorem 14a. So by theorem 14a, it is sufficient to show that they have the same values and same derivative at x is equal to 0. In the theorem 14, you have studied under the same initial conditions, we have the unique solution. Now we want the unique solution. It means we will say they have the same initial condition. This follows at once from the s dash 0 is equal to 1, c 0 is equal to 1, means we have the same initial condition. Then s double dash x is equal to what? Minus of sx, and x is equal to 0 is given to you 0. So s of x, so as we have the s0 is equal to 0, so this will become the 0. So s double dash 0 is equal to minus of s0 is equal to 0, and it is what? It is given to you c dash 0 is equal to 0. C dash 0 is equal to 0 means it is given to you now here. It is given to you here that s dash 0 is equal to 1 and c0 is equal to 1. C0 is equal to 1. So these two are the same condition. And here we have s0 is equal to 0 and s double dash 0 is equal to minus of s0 and it is equal to 0, and here we have the c dash 0 is equal to 0. So this condition and this condition are the same. This condition are the same. Clear? So now we have the initial conditions are same. We have the initial conditions same. So second formula, so we have the s dash x is equal to cx. That is the first property we have proved by the theorem 14. Theorem 14 states that if we have the same initial condition, then we have the unique solution. Now we want the unique solution. We want the s dash should equal to the c. For that, we prove that they have the same initial condition. So this we have proved. Yes, anything you want to ask here? Yes, anything, any doubt, any clarity you want? Now,
Sir, what
if
were
you
you talking about y is equal to mx, me to the power x? Sir, what was that?
that I want to say that for the second order differential equation with constant coefficient, if y is solution, then y dash is also solution.
Sir, so how
That
did
I
you
am
prove
using.
that? Sir, how did you
Pardon?
prove that s dash x is a solution?
Because y is equal to sx is the solution is given to you, na?
Yes, sir.
Y s is the solution of y double dash plus y is equal to 0 is
Yes,
given
sir.
to you. So s dash by this y is equal to s. So y dash is equal to s dash is also the solution. This is what second order differential equation with constant coefficient, na? Y double dash plus y is equal to
Yes,
0.
yes. Got it, sir. Got it.
Any other clarity you want to? Can I proceed? So if you take the differentiation on both sides, so it will become s double dash x is equal to c dash x. C dash x, and what is this s double dash x? That is the minus of sx. C dash x. C dash x. So that is your second property. Cos derivative of the cos x is the minus sin x. So that we have proved here. Now, very famous relation of the sin x and cos x is most important relation, most usable relation between the cos x and sin x is,
Sir, square sum is 1.
yeah, square sum is 1, means sin square x plus cos square x is equal to 1. Let us prove for this whether s square plus c square is equal to 1 or not. Clear? So what we will take, let us have s square plus cx cx square is equal to 1. If you take the derivative on both sides, so it will give you 2s into s dash plus 2c into c dash is equal to 0. And what is this? S dash? S dash is equal to Cx. What is the C dash? C dash is equal to minus S. So just you put here C dash is equal to minus X. C dash is equal to minus Sx and S dash is equal to Cx. So it will become 2SC minus 2SCS, that is equal to 0. That is equal to 0. So it is true. So now if you integrate on both sides, so what the integration will come? S square plus C square is equal to constant, right? S square plus C square is equal to constant. You put x is equal to 0. You put x is equal to 0. So what is the value of the S0? S0 is 1. So 1 square. What is the C0? C0, no, S0 is 0. S0 is 0. C0 is 1. C0 is 1. So constant is equal to 1. Constant is equal to 1. So we have the S square plus C square is equal to 1. So here we have the analogy to the sin square plus cos square is equal to 1. Clear? Now we have said that S and C are solution. Never I have claimed that they are the Li solution. For the cos x and sin x, you have already verified that they are the Li solution. Now we have to verify whether the C and S are also the Li solution. So for that we compute the Wronskian of the solution of the differential equation. Wronskian of S and C. So it is what? S, C, S dash, C dash. And what is the S dash? What is the S dash? S dash is the C. What is the C dash? It is the minus S. So as you put this, you will get the minus S square minus C square. And from here, we know that its value is 1. So it will become the minus 1, not equal to 0. It means Li. Right? So S and C are the Li. So when S and C are the Li, and from the graph, oscillatory graph, you have seen from the graph of the Sx, you have seen the zeros of the Sx is 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi. So zeros of the S are pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, and so on. And zeros of the cos x is pi by 2, right? Pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2, 7 pi by 2, and so on. So now from here, if you combine these two, what will be the graph? If you combine these two, what will be the graph? So what you can judge? Here we have the 0. Here we have the 0 of the Sx. Here we have the 0 of the cos x. Here we have the 0 of the cos x. Here we have the 0 of the cos x. So here we have the 0 of the Sx. What you can judge? What you can say about the zeros? They are occurring alternatively. Zeros of Sx and Cx are occurring alternatively, means between two zeros of Sx, always we have 1 0 of Cx, always we have zeros of the Cx, and between the two zeros of the Cx, always we have the zeros of the Sx. They are occurring alternatively. So in next class we continue. So anything you want to ask about the Sx and the Cx, about the solution which we have derived from the differential equation.
Sir, can you show the zeros part notes?
What the doubt? You ask the doubt then.
No, sir, I just want to see.
Means in the conclusion you can write that zeros zeros occur in alternate. Actually, just we are analoging the properties of cosec and sin x here, because we know the nature of cosec and sin x very well, but just by using the differential equation. So that's all from my side for today. If you have doubt, you can ask.